Alright, so we're holding minor test Ace base. We're going to do the Kitzur from before, just to give us a little bit of a recap. Then we'll jump right into it. So we said that on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, it says on Yom Kippur there's a seal that seals what happened on Rosh Hashanah. So the Chesam, the seal, is something that ensures that the sustenance that's allotted on Rosh Hashanah should go to a place that's fitting and to each individual that needs it specifically. The general sustenance that we receive is in Malchus of Atzilus, and by the time of Ne'ilah, it's the time of a spiritual kindness of Atzilus, and Atzilus is separated from Biyah. These are all things that we discussed in the last thing. We'll discuss them more at length as Hashem. So it's separated from, so Atzilus is separate from Biyah, like fire is separated from the other, is distinct from the other elements, and only when Biyah is when things are drawn down into Biyah through the five glories of Atik, is the kindness of Hashem able to come down into a solid way. These are all things which we're going to be discussing in the future. This is, I'm going to say, the crux of what we're going to be discussing. So if there's something that doesn't seem familiar, don't sweat it. Well, anyhow, we jump now into Parakles. With this we can understand the judgment and the sentencing out of the two terms. But with this we can understand the judgment that happens on every single day. As the Chachamim say, the Adam Nidin M'chol Yom, that a person is judged every day. The Hineksiv, as it says, that 6 days you should work and you should 6 days you should work and you should do everything that needs to be done. Because in 6 days Hashem created the heavens and the earth and the sea and everything that's in them, and He rested on the seventh day. And the Zayar explains about this. Every day a person does their work. This is also how it is in the work of a person, that he works for 6 days and he does everything he needs to do. Because every individual has their work that they need to do. It's an interesting concept, but in the same way that it's a mitzvah to keep Shabbos, it's also an inyan. Some mitzvahs say deraisa, the working everyday part, but it's you would say it's a concept deraisa. Maybe there's a taste at the beginning of Makim Shinaga, but I don't have time to get into it. But basically, it's taka. It's an inyan to work. We're in the world to work. We're in the world to make the world a better place. Every person has their mission that they need, of what they need to accomplish. And it's written Yamim Yutzaru V'Lo Behem, that he created days and he created days and to him it's one of them. The Sachas Kol Yamim Asher Noitzru V'Nitnu LaAdam U'B'Chdei V'Lo Yachad Behem, because the ultimate of all of the days that Hashem was created for, that a person was created for, that Hashem created a person for, is V'Lo Yachad Behem. She'Adam Avidasi Yamshach V'Nas Echad, that there should be echad. Don't read it V'Lo Yachad Behem, that he has one of them. Read it V'Lo Yachad Behem, that he should bring echad into them. The echad to Rosh Tevis, the Aleph, Ein Seif Baruch Hu Aluf Shel Olam, because the Aleph stands for Ein Seif, blessed be He, the chief of the world. Aleph Mloshin Aluf, which means the chief. Ches Heim Zayin Mekim V'Aretz. The Ches represents the seven firmaments and the earth. And Daled Heim Daled Ruchus Olam, and the Daled, which is Gematria 4, represents the four directions in the world. Chlolos Hu Inyan Hamakim V'Yamim Hu Inyan Azman. In general, Echad refers to the Inyan of space. You have the seven firmaments, the earth, and the four directions, and Yamim refers to the concept of time. V'Hainu the Adam Avidasi the Chaber Zmanu Makim Liachim Melikos, that a person's job is, or his work is to connect time and place and to unite them with godliness. This is your work, which is the work of a person, with the ultimate of his soul descending down here. This work needs to be done each and every day, with work which is work of the soul. I'm trying to Yigia is like effort of the flesh and effort of the soul. This is what it means when it says that you should work for 6 days. Is that every day you need to do a specific kind of avodah according to what it represents in the Sfiras Alyenis. what does this mean? The Emrishin Hu Chesed, because the first day is Chesed. And this concept in Avodah is Ava. V'yom Sheni Hu Gvura, and Monday is Gvura. V'yom Avodah Hu Yira, and its Inyan and Avodah is Yira. Hashlishi Tiferes v'yom Avodah Hu Lestakolo B'Kara D'Malka. V'Skalu Chesed Gvura of Ava V'Yira. And its concept is to gaze upon the glory of the king, and to include Chesed and Gvura and Ava and Yira. V'yom Harvi Netzach, the fourth day is Netzach. When Yanav Avodah Le'ir Midas Anitzachim Levar L'Sharish Gamas the Dakos Shel Halei Tev, and it's the concept of Netzach is to flare up your desire for victory, so you should be able to burn and to uproot all of the very, very fine concepts of not good that might exist within a person. This is what it means when it says that on Wednesday the luminaries were hung in the sky. This is like bringing in light, the light of Hashem, so that it should be able to destroy even fine points of negativity that exists within a person. And Thursday is Hoid. And its concept in Avodah is to contemplate and to grasp the glory of Hashem's honor. The glory of the honor of the kingship of Hashem. And this is something we can understand when we contemplate the creations of Hashem, as it says, how numerous are your works, Hashem, and how great are your works, Hashem. Friday is Yesod, and its concept is to unify in the heavens and the earth. The yichud of Malikal Omen and Seviv Kol Omen. The Yidua, and it's known, the Chol HaMidus, that all of the midas are included within each other. There's Chesed of Gvura and there's Chesed of Chesed. And we just counted Sphira not too long ago. So the spheres are included in each other. This is their completion. This is also how it is in Avodah, that in Avodah you have different details of Avodah that they complete each other. The Ava Kula Miyira, Yira Kula Ava, V'chein Kulam, that Ava is included in Yira. Or that there's Ava that's included in Yira, and there's Yira that's included in Ava. And this is also how it is with all of the concepts that we discussed. Aval, nevertheless, each day has its own particular concept of what it's supposed to accomplish, what you're supposed to accomplish in the upper spheres. This is what it means when it says that a person is judged every day. Why? Because based on what we explained, Movan, it's understood. We can understand that from the general concept of an allotment of kindness that's allotted on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and it's drawn into Malchus Vatzilos. There are many different ways that it can come down into Asiyah, into this physical world of action. It can be Achad V'Chesed, Kumeshu Vatzilos, Ein Beit Tzir Klal, because after the fact that Chesed, as it is in Atzilus, there's no form of how it's supposed to come down into kindness of Asiyah, Chesed of Asiyah. It's still in a form of simple Chesed, simple kindness. That it's able to be formed, it's able to be created, it's able to be formed, and then it's able to be made. As we go down through all over the world, through this, it's able to come down in many different forms in this physical world. This is the judgment that happens every single day. How things will come down for a person so that it should be able to be drawn down into action. So things should be drawn down to a person, whether it's in all three branches of Bani Chayim Mizene, of children and of vitality and of sustenance, in broadness. I don't know how to translate Revach in the context of this, but that there should be a lot of, that there should be a fine amount of children and vitality and sustenance. Or if it should be only two of them, or if it should only be one of them. Adinu Mishpat Hazeh, Hu Alidei Abesin Shalmaila, Shebehechal Zchus. This judgment happens in the Besin Shalmaila, in the hall of merit, V'hainu Be'echalis the Bria, which is to say, in the halls of Bria. Psak din she'esei achatz sheniksav la'adam reish Hashanah v'yam Kippurim ein be'afshari sheyimshach mimenu lemata kol hachutz v'shulush d'varim chayim v'zaynei im l'shnayim mehem al derech mashal. And if it's decided over there in Bria that the kindness that was allotted on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is not enough to be able to supply a person with Bani Chayim v'zaynei, because Bria is where it starts getting portioned into those things. So Azay Yesh Mehem, Azay Yesh Mishpat, Lama Yumshach Shafa Chesed, Im Levani V'chayish, Yu Levani V'chayim, V'kayam Uvrius V'cholos Nafsho Yisveisei. If it should be that he should have only Bani and Chayah, that he should only have children and vitality, and that the sustenance should be, should be hard to make a parnasa, but he and his family are going to be living well and he's going to have children. Or if he should have abundant sustenance, and that he'll have vitality, that he should have wealth and health. So it could happen that a person has an allotment of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and that it's not able to properly. If there's just not enough that was given to him Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, that he should be able to have children, that he should be able to have all of the things. So things need to be Lamaila. It's allotted in Bria. A person is judged. This is what we're getting to. That in Bria, and also in Yitzhak and also in Nasiyah, but the form that it's good that the kindness of Hashem is going to take is allotted. Should it be that a person gets? If a person has enough for everything, good. If they have enough for everything, it just goes through Bria and it's simple. Or if a person doesn't have enough, they decide up there how it's going to come down for the person.
Do they take into account what the person's davening for?
Do they take into account what the person is davening? Well, yeah, we daven every day.
No, but let's say that up there in the heavenly courts, they're saying, okay, more panasa for this person, but the person's actually saying, I want more children. I don't care about panasa, I want more children. Yeah. Do they take that into account?
So let's go one second further.
All right.
So for this, the tefillah of a tzaddik works to be able to change it from one concept to another concept. With this we could understand the story that happened with Baal Shem Tov. That he was very strong in his request that the Baal Shem Tov should daven on his behalf, so that he should be saved by having children. But this man was very wealthy. The Baal Shem Tov did not respond to him in regards to his request. Until one time, the man and his wife were very persistent. That they really desire from all of the walls of their heart. He felt it echoing. And he said to them, that when they have children, they're going to lose their wealth. And they're going to be paupers. And they chose to have children, and they had their children, and they became paupers. Baal Shem Tov changed the source of the chesed was flowing into Banim, because that it was flowing into Isha. That's where the Beis Shalmaila allotted it for them. Baal Shem Tov changed the flow, that instead of flowing into Ashiras, instead of flowing into wealth, it should flow into having children. The kindness which was allotted for him wasn't enough for the two things. And he was able to change it with his tefillah from wealth to children.
His tefillah is in the Baal Shem
Tov. The Baal Shem Tov tefillah. So just to note, because this might be like in a sense a little bit of a scary thing, because you think that a tzaddik isn't able to accomplish something more than this. A tzaddik is able to accomplish more than this. It's discussed a lot throughout Chassidus, what the tefillah of a tzaddik is able to accomplish, what the tefillah of a regular person is able to accomplish, and tefillah is able to accomplish much more than this. But in a sense, this is more in tune with what Hashem wants. Hashem has a plan for how things are supposed to be in the world. And sometimes that plan means that a person only has X amount allotted to them. And it's unfortunate that a person should only have a little bit allotted to them. Now, a tzaddik sees the very, very grand scheme of things, and a tzaddik can't, he could interfere to a certain extent, but there's also the question of if you interfere with this, you can end up making things worse in the long run. You can end up making things worse for other people. Like the classic example of this would be that Moshe Rabbeinu davened to Hashem that he should be able to save the children that were being put into bricks in Mitzrayim. They were literally putting babies into bricks in Mitzrayim, and he felt bad for them. It's a horrible thing, they're putting babies into bricks. And Hashem said, well, I'll let you save a baby, see what happens. And he saved the baby, and that baby ended up being quite a character in Jewish history. He's the one that made the Egel Azav, the golden calf, and he's the one that made the Pesel Nichad and the Sheftim. And it was a nice thought, it was a nice sentiment. And Taka, he was able to save him. He did what he was able to do. However, in the long run, the notion of interfering with the plan, even though, yes, a Jewish child, and how could you sit by, and how could you let it happen? It's an unfortunate thing. And if there would be a satisfying answer for what it would be, then Moshe Rabbeinu wouldn't have the desire to save the child. And you wouldn't be able to do anything with that. It would be, if Hashem would say, I'm putting him in the brick because this reason, or why not change him? Why not give him a good nature? You could try tweaking however many things you want to try tweaking. Ultimately, there's the plan. They say that the Rebbe Rashab, I'm probably messing up the quote, they say the Rebbe Rashab davened that the Bachar and Temchet Mimim shouldn't be able to change Seder Shalshalos. Because really, you would want to be able to change Seder Shalshalos. You would want to be able to change the way that things come down. And I for sure butchered that quote to some extent. There's probably a nitpick in the wording that really changes the whole meaning, but something to that effect. It's important to not change things too much in the divine plan. That being said, the tzaddik can change it. With that being said, the consideration of this is taka chesed that's allotted, it's already there, I could change it around if the person is willing. This person was willing, this person really wanted it, and seeing as it already existed, it wasn't interfering with the divine plan in a sense. It was maybe with the Beis Shammai's plan, but not with the plan as things were allotted in Atzilus, so it didn't cause a new allotment. So it was, in a sense, easier for Kaviyachal, if you want to say, it was easier for the Baal Shem Tov to change it. Just as a sidebar about what a tefillah can accomplish. Really, tefillah reaches above the entire world, and there's a lot discussed in Chassidus about the concept of tefillah. Really, tefillah goes above the concept of the chesed that's allotted in Atzilus. But this is a concept of a tefillah that it's able, and in a sense, it's an even greater miracle to be able to change nature than to make a miracle that's above nature. Because usually nature has its course. Nature is really a miracle that's so persistent that it happens so often that we just get used to it. And to be able to change the flow of nature, in a sense, is a bigger miracle than saying, I have the ability to reach above nature, so I'll reach above nature. To be able to change the nature of something is, in a sense, a greater miracle. So I guess you could say that that's really emphasized with the tefillah of a tzaddik, that the tefillah of a tzaddik is able to change this psak din, not just to say, I'm a yid, and I have a connection with Hashem that reaches above Seder Shalshos, so I can pull down whatever I need to pull down. No, to say that taka is a Seder Shalshos, and I'm going to tweak Seder Shalshos. So, something to that effect. But we're not even doing too bad on time. So, Gam Hadin, who and also the judgment is if this chesed that's allotted in Atzilus should taka come down into the physical world. After it's possible that a person isn't fitting, it's not worthy for him on that particular day, that he should be getting this chesed from Hashem. Even though the kindness was allotted for him on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, it's possible that this chesed will come for him in a spiritual sense, which some people would possibly prefer, or it will come in Eilam Haba, which is also something that someone might prefer. So someone once told me they were suffering greatly from physical ailments, and he said that he's sure that this suffering that he's having, that he's experiencing in the world, is Hashem punishing him for his sins that he did in this world, and that he's going to have a gezunta portion in Eilam Haba. This is what he said. Some people would prefer taka, that the kindness should come down for them in Eilam Haba. With this we can understand we can align the two statements of the Chachamim that we mentioned before, that the sustenance of a person is set for him in Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, and nevertheless a person is judged each and every day. The fact that it's cut for him. That is to say that the upper kindness is set for him on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur for the entire year. And nevertheless, a person is judged every day. That is to say, how the kindness will be formed, how it will come down into this physical world. So it can be allotted in different ways in Bria, or it can come down in different ways until ultimately maybe it'll get stuck in Yitzirah, maybe it'll get stuck in Adam Haba, it'll get stuck in Ruchnias. But the kindness is cut, and it's in Atzilus, it's there. And then every day it's decided how it's going to come down. With this we could understand why every day we ask in Shemona Esrei for refuah and for parnasa. Even though it's already said in Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, this is only the general kindness. But there is no form in physical things. And every day we ask that this kindness, which was allotted for us, should come down into these physical things. This is why Rav Yeva Sava davened for his meal, even though it was already set before him. It's possible that this sustenance was not intended for him. And therefore he davened that the food which was in front of him, and it's a little bit of a tip of art, but that the food that's in front of him, that maybe this food is really for someone else and he's eating from someone else's portion. He davened that this food should be given to him from the kindness that was allotted from Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and not that he should be eating from someone else's kindness. Not that maybe this food was intended for someone else. He wanted it to be that part of the cheshbon that he has with Hashem, part of the reckoning that he has with Hashem, and what Hashem allotted for him, that he should be eating from that, not eating from someone else. So, any questions?